Welcome back. The NDSU softball team, despite battling tough weather this season, has earned the top seed in this year's Summit League tournament. And a huge reason for their success, redshirt junior outfielder Katie Shoultz. But that redshirt season was taken for a pretty remarkable reason. Brian Shawn has the story.
Katie Shoultz is not used to sitting still. She was a five-sport athlete growing up in Muscatine, Iowa, and was always go, go, go. But at times, it would be tough to keep up.
I just remember even like in middle school, like playing basketball or soccer, and I would just get so tired.
Katie continued her active lifestyle throughout high school, competing year-round, eventually falling in love with softball as her favorite activity. One of her best friends, Emily Clemens, was also a pretty good athlete.
We played basketball, softball, soccer, and volleyball together, and then that continued out through high school as well.
Playing with one of your really best friends it doesn't really get much better than that.
Both were heavily recruited out of high school, with Clemens signing at Western Illinois and Katie at North Dakota State. There was an adjustment period focusing on just one activity, while getting used to the daily grind of Division I athletics.
This little freshman, the first day of practice, I remember in the fall, Darren was just hitting ball after ball after ball, and I come in and it's finally time to hit, and he goes, "You a little tired?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because I was just wheezing because I was so tired because the practices are not the same. But I'm glad that I had the opportunity I did to play with some of the greatest people to come through this program.
She was a kid that wanted to fit in right away with the upperclassmen, and I said, you have to sometimes you have to earn your stripes a little bit, especially as a freshman. But I mean, she fit in as a team, but she just wanted to make that impact right away.
With her speed on the base paths, Katie did make an impact right away and met another athlete in the dorms she connected with. He was there to play football.
That she was really competitive. I'm a very competitive person. Obviously, in athletics standpoint, that's a good thing. Just kind of met her, started talking to her, liked her personality, liked everything else about her.
21, Katie Shoultz.
Katie played in 104 games her first 2 years, but coaches started to notice a constant struggle with fatigue.
We never knew why it was. Never knew the reasoning behind it. And it was something, we talked to the trainers, and Katie just said, that's just the way it always was for her.
She had been taking a supplement for low iron in her blood since high school, but as her sophomore season continued on, energy levels dropped. During the conference tournament, it got to the point where she had almost no stamina at all.
I couldn't catch my breath for at least 20 minutes, and I went out to the outfield with Jen and Itza, and I was just like, you guys, I cannot catch my breath. Like, I don't know what's wrong.
Later that evening, concern turned into panic.
I actually woke up in the middle of the night and I was drenched in sweat, and I was just in the most excruciating pain. And I called my dad and I said, "Dad, something's wrong." He goes, "You need to go to the emergency room right now." So I woke up my roommate, she took me. So they ran some blood tests and they did a CT, and he came in and he was very surprised. And he sat down, and as soon as he sat down, I instantly knew that something was wrong.
Katie was diagnosed with a pulmonary embolism and had multiple blood clots in both of her lungs.
It was very scary. So I was a little bit more upset that I wasn't going to be able to play again.
And our team obviously took it pretty hard, and it was something that, I think you really just kind of look and you start thinking about, wow, you're just really fortunate we were able to catch this.
And I think it was more just shock, like, I can't believe this is real, first of all, and second of all, Katie, of all people, like, she's fit, she's athletic, like, it just didn't seem right, and we were just all kind of stunned by it, I think.
The way she worded it, and she mentioned, like, I could have died from it, it's a really dangerous thing, so obviously first reaction was just, well, I'm glad you caught it as early as you did.
Doctors put her on blood thinners and medications to help with her condition. Weeks and months went by as specialists remained cautious about her odds of getting back on the field.
"What are the odds of me playing again?" And she kind of looked at me and she said, "I know that you want to play, but I don't know if that's going to be possible." And I started to cry.
Seeing someone who's so competitive and constantly active and doing stuff not be able to do what they want, it's just really devastating to see that happen to someone.
Katie's gear remained in her locker the following season, mostly untouched. She redshirted, holding out hope that someday a return was possible. but her role in the meantime, student coach.
They came back for that first week. I was a little emotional because, you know, I wanted to be in their shoes. And the first game, I remember I kind of like went to the corner of the dugout and I kind of like held back some tears and I had my sunglasses on.
It'd be very easy for someone like Katie to just pack up and walk away and be like, I can't do this. Like, this place is causing me pain right now because I can't be a part of it. But she just kind of stood up and she was like, you know what, I'll take on the role I can. I'll be a coach's role. Like, I'm not letting you guys down.
Popped up to the shortstop. Zavro makes the catch, and North Dakota State has won their 8th Summit League tournament title in the last 9 years.
The Bison won another Summit League tournament championship the following May. Tests continued to come back positive, and almost a year had gone by since her initial diagnosis. And then finally, a glimmer of hope.
There was always a part of me that was just, you know, still hope that I was still going to be able to play. And so I go there and I said, what are the odds of me playing again? Like, I know we've talked about this, but like, now it's been a year, I haven't had a blood clot, like, I'm young. And she goes, I think it is possible. And I was just like blown away.
I think once we found out, maybe even about mid-July, that, or, you know, all right, this is 100%, this is going to happen, you know, I think then that's when the excitement kicked in.
After 636 days of waiting and hoping, the kid that never sat still made her return to the field this spring.
I was just itching to play because I was like, I'm tired of practicing, like I want to play and I want to see what I can do. And so our first game, I was actually like super jacked up. And I just remember like getting up to bat and I had to like calm myself down.
She now writes the word 1 on her arm before each game as a reminder to take it one game at a time, not forgetting the past or wasting a moment in the present.
What I went through has made me grow a lot as a person and a player, just because not a lot of people my age go through what I did. Going through that definitely helped me appreciate the smaller things more.
And I think a lot of us can look to her for a lot of inspiration and find that through what she's done for us.
You know that single P on a plate, when you're trying to stab it and you just want to get it, that's when you defeat it. You can never pick it up. She's the single P on the plate, not letting you beat her. It's the best way to put it.
Thanks so much, Bishan. Remarkable story about battling back, and we are so happy to see Katie back on the field. She and the Bison take the field tomorrow at noon for the quarterfinals of the Summit League tournament. That game will be live right here on Midco Sports Network. Coming up next, it's on to the softball diamond yet again. We'll look at UND as they head into this week's Big Sky tournament as the 3 seed, and also hear from Augie softball head coach Greta Melstad on the Vikings heading into the Central Regional. You're watching Midco Sports Tonight.
Midco Sports Tonight, presented by Avera Orthopedics.